Canaries has the best of all worlds, a calm and scenic beachfront, enough land space for housing development and agriculture, and the envied position of being located between yachting havens and on the road to the most visited local attractions, the Peters in Super. But that geographic advantage has not quite translated into an economic benefit. Canaries has a high unemployment rate, but remarkably great community spirit and very little crime.
Thank you for joining us on our second installment of our premiere of Calabash Community. And this week we are in Canaries on the West Coast. Joining us in this segment is the chairman of the Constituency Council, Edsel Edmonds, also Gregory de Turville, who is wearing many hats, Mary Satange of the Canaries UK Association, Margaret Edward, initiator of the Canaries Jazz and a council member, and a few other residents will be joining us right here on the program tonight.
My name is Edsel Edmonds, and I'm the chairperson of the Canaries Constituency Council.
Yeah, my name is Gregory de Turville. I'm the chairman of the Local Disaster Committee.
I am Mary Satange, and I am the chairperson of the Canaries UK Committee.
Hello, I am Margaret Edward. This is my residence. It's called La Maison.
The main function of the council is to administer the business of the village, including managing the public facilities and basically providing service to residents and making a representation on their behalf as well when the need arises.
How active is the council, and how active are the members participating? Are they volunteering? Are they actively involved in the council?
Most of the members, the good thing about this council is that most of the members are persons who have been involved in community work for quite a while. So these persons have been volunteers and so on. So it is not difficult to get them to work on a council like this. Although the council has been very active though, but we're very limited in terms of the resources at our disposal to be able to effectively carry out our mandate.
Can you talk to us about what are the challenges that surfaced out of the recent trough and the impact on Canaries for the council? How much more difficult did it make your work?
Well, we now have to look at maybe a disaster management plan, because obviously the flooding is now becoming more regular. You know, we had it during Thomas, but this one was even worse than Thomas.
A lot of people, they lost their personal belongings, their bed and wardrobe and mattresses, just name it, they lose a lot of things. In fact, we are just recovering, and I believe that the recovery is going on quite swiftly.
Fortunately for us, I mean, we operate in a village where, although the Kudme and the community spirit is kind of taking a back seat now, but it's a community where in times of despair and so on, persons come together. The silting of the river is of major concern to us. There has been some desilting since Hurricane Thomas, but again, we believe that it perhaps should be starting from way up.
I complain, I wrote letters, I have proposal asking, please desilt the river.
Obviously, the river is a huge challenge to Canaries, both, as you mentioned, in terms of agriculture and also property and lives as well. How worrisome was it when you saw what happened with the trough, knowing that we have climate change that's going to bring bigger floods?
It's been 14 years, and I can speak to that, since the upper areas of the river have not been desilted. It has always been for the lower ends, they call it the jawl, the mouth of the river.
Because even from where we stand, I can see that the mouth of the river is blocked. I'm not sure if it's unblocked now, but from where I am standing, it appears to be blocked. How much of a threat is that to the safety of the community?
Yes, it is worried right now. We are very much worried, especially, you know, the sea, it keep on blocking it. Although each time it's blocked, they unblocks, but the sea keep on blocking it, and the water, it backs up. And some of the drains has been blocked for a while, and then the water, and you know that we have the threat of those mosquitoes, and then you know it is a threat to the villagers, especially those that lives around the area.
In terms of water overflowing into the village as well, we understand that retaining walls and so on were damaged. Is that much of a concern? How do you think that can be approached? Are there plans to rebuild those retaining walls and so on?
Okay, I think there was one major retaining wall close to the field. Part of it was damaged. It was built not too long ago. I'm not sure what the plans are in terms of central government's plans for building it. But again, as I said, we would be looking at a more comprehensive disaster management plan, look at what needs to be done have a comprehensive study in terms of what actually led to the flooding and to see how we can address it. So it's a little early now to determine exactly what we're going to do.
Agriculture in Canaries is not what it used to be, but persistent flooding has discouraged farmers to the point where local produce is trucked into Canaries. The Canaries market is no longer a food market.
If you want food, you have to go to Soufre or Castries to buy food. You don't really get farmers coming with food like before. You don't get that in Canaries. But the only sector that's thriving, but then there are difficulties right now, is the fishing sector.
Well, fishing is perhaps the biggest employer right now, maybe accounting for about 25%.
We have a lot of young men. We'll find at least between 50 to 60 young men goes out every morning, especially in the high season fishing. You will find that they goes out to sea. Basically, these are the things that brings a little income. I'll say a little construction and fishing.
I think that what Canaries needs most of all is jobs. There's a very high level of unemployment because when you look at Canaries, most of the jobs available in Canaries are government jobs. You have the teachers, the scavengers, the health center, at the health center, the police, that's all. But we need more jobs for the young people in Canaries because a lot of them are on the streets, a lot of them are into gambling. But recently, there was this nice program where they have I think it's the caregiver program, and this has helped a lot.
So many young persons unemployed. What could they do? No skill, some of them are unskilled, but they are not lazy. We are resilient people. As you can see, Canaries went through the cleanup phase so fast, within 4 days after the trough. So we can get things done with support.
We were able to come together as a community and put together a strategic development plan for the period 2007 to 2010. And we had numerous community consultations, people voiced their opinions and so on, and all of that was documented.
Mm-hmm. That plan you mentioned, what were the main planks of that plan? What did it want to push and promote as priorities for the community?
Okay, well, basically we divided the plan into 4 thematic areas. There's social infrastructure, education, economic development, and disaster mitigation. So these are the 4 areas where we had all the discussions on and what the plan is actually based on. But for us, the overriding concern was economic activity, because unemployment is perhaps the biggest problem in Canaries, and there's certainly not enough economic activity. That is something that has to be addressed.
We will continue our conversations in Canaries in just a few moments. We will explore further the challenges the community faces in meeting the needs of its people.